Hey guys, it's me, Greg. Today we're going to talk about pest control both inside and outside the house. Last video we talked about some getting rid of mice and things like that are coming in during the fall, during the cold, and insects are no different. So I got two products here. They're both a dust-based product, which means you apply them either with the built-in tip here or a professional type accordion duster or spray bottle. It's not really a spray bottle like you're thinking about, but a duster powder. Remember when you were a kid and your mom and dad had those big cans with a pump sprayer on it? They made those a little bit different now, but something along those lines. So let's get right into it. The first one, this is called Roach Away. Basically it's boric acid. Okay, and this is what you'll use inside your home, behind your cupboards and things like that. The applicator tip here just screws on and off, or up and down, and you tilt the bottle sideways, and squish it real hard, and a bunch of dust will come out. This is good for roaches and ants and silver bugs and things like that, but you really got to be careful where you're putting it. And basically what you want to do is put this alongside each side of your refrigerator, back between the wall and the cupboards. You can do the same thing between both sides and underneath your dishwasher if you have one. If you open up your cupboards, you can do it around the drain pipes. If there's a holes in the wall, it's really good to dump it in there. And basically any hole in the wall or somewhere that's way out of the way, because this type of applicator is going to put a lot in there, and you just don't want your cats and dogs trouncing through a lot of this stuff or licking up a bunch of it. So it's really good for roaches and ants, and what it does is it gets on their skin, their ectoskeleton, excuse me, and it basically eats away at it. And they also track it into their hives because it sticks to them. And for example, they might eat it like roaches are cannibals, and once a roach dies, another roach will eat them and has the stuff all over it. And it's good for several other insects as well. But basically we use it for indoors, and you put it in out of the way places and in holes. Okay. The next product I'm going to talk about is another dust, and this dust is I think it's called Pyrethrin. It's a very good dust. A lot of people use it on their plants and in kennels and things like that. It's similar to a Drione, Drione, but I can't get that in New York. But this works almost as good. It's not quite as lethal, but it kills probably 200 different insects. This thing will kill wasps and bees and hornets and just all kinds of things. You want to be very careful with it. Once again, it does have an applicator. If you take this tip off and cut it, you can spray it around. Now with this, you don't need a lot. You just need a light dusting. So what this is good for is in the home, as long as you keep it away, off of the carpets and things like that where dogs are going to roll around or cats are going to roll around in it, it's fairly safe. You can go along your baseboards. You can go underneath your kitchen cabinet sinks. Obviously, you can take off maybe the switch plates on your light switches and dump some down in there. You can put it in behind your refrigerator, your dishwasher, all along the baseboards, your cabinets, things like that. And, it's fairly okay as long as you're not getting it on your plates or something. You don't want to put any of your cupboards that have plates and spoons and silverware, but all the other places are good. It's also great for your vegetable gardens and things like that. You just want to wash your vegetables when you bring them in. As far as indoor goes if you put a big clump of it down where your dog or cat gets sick off it, probably would. You don't want to do that. Like I said, you just want to lightly dust it around the baseboards and things, but it'll kill bed bugs, it'll kill wasps. And here again, I just want to talk to you about how to apply this. You don't want to apply globs and globs. On the boric acid, you can put that on a little thicker because that's working a little differently. This is actually a pesticide, and it has some kind of gel in it that silicone gels and things like that actually make it stick to the bug's ectoskeleton. So what you really need to do is have a better type of a dispenser. And most of these bottles are just squeeze bottles. They don't have a tube down in it. So you're basically kind of having to, jiggle a little down and then spray it and jiggle a little down, and it's kind of hard to control it. Amazon sells this. It's called Evergreen. I think it's called MGK Evergreen. I don't know who sells it. It's a 10-ounce duster. The roach away or other boric acid, you don't even need a brand name. Every hardware store has that. But back to the sprayers, I'm going to do another video here in just a little bit of a better sprayer. And it's really not a sprayer, it's a duster. And I should stop saying sprayer because you don't want to mix this with water. You do not want to spray it like that. But just keep in mind, when you're working outside with this stuff, you always want to identify your bugs. And because a lot of people see flying bugs and they all just say bees. Well, really look at the thing and try to look up online and see what a bee looks like. If at all possible, if it's a honeybee, a real bee, a little honeybee, and they're just starting to get into your walls and things like that, try to get somebody from your local bee association or honeybee forums. Just get online and look around. You'll find there's all kinds of beekeepers and bee forums and honeybee associations in just about every town, and a lot of times they'll come out and get the bees and try to trap them for free and take them away. Only under extreme circumstances, if there's so much in your walls and they can't get them out, then you're gonna have to kill them. But this stuff is way cheaper than paying for an exterminator. This stuff costs about 25 bucks a bottle, somewhere near 20 bucks a bottle. It's gonna last you quite a long time because you don't use a whole lot at a time. And an exterminator is going to cost you more. Now, basically what you want to do with this stuff is outside, is if you have wasps and bees and things like that, hornets, yellow jackets, they all sting. First off, you want to get protective clothing on, especially goggles, and protect your eyes. Those guys sting you in the eye, it's really going to hurt. You need protective clothing, which is a layer or two, preferably some type of cheap bee suit. If you don't have that, a jacket, hard denim pants that are baggy. You don't want skin tight stuff. You want to make sure that they're down around your ankles, they're taped up so that the bugs can't crawl up. Same with your neckline. You want to make sure that's got something around it, a towel or something taped up good so they can't get in there. You want to make sure you have good protection. The other thing you want to make sure you have is a mask. When you're applying this, it's a fine dust. You don't want to breathe it in. So if at all possible, always try to have the bottle, upwind. In other words, if the wind is blowing this way, you want to be spraying over here, not over here and having it come back in your face. So this is real simple. If you have like a big wasp nest, you would wait till probably early evening when they're all kind of calmed down and just dust puff a couple right on the nest. But really for the outside, what you're doing is you're looking for cracks and holes in the wall, especially bees coming in and out of walls, or carpenter bees, or ants, or whatever it is. And any kind of, crack, wall, seam, just, dust a couple in there. And it's going to work fairly quick. You can go around the whole house and dust everything, wait about a week, go around the whole house, dust everything again, and pretty much everything's going to be dead. It's really powerful stuff. This, on the other hand, the boric acid, it's going to take longer. You can do the same thing, but it's just going to take longer. So when I tell you to get a little bit better applicator, they have those things that look like little bellows with a tube on them, like you would suck up like a turkey baster but bigger. Those aren't really that good. I mean, they work, but that's okay if you're pointing it down or you have a level hole that you're going into. But if you got to reach over your head or go kind of sideways, you really need to get something like this. And this is the KD2 pesticide powder duster. Once again, I don't know the guy who sold this. I got it on Amazon. It's pretty expensive. So 20 bucks for this, 35 bucks for this. You're going to have them for a long time. You're going to be into it for what, $55, $60, half the cost of a guy. But this will last you. This will last you for years. This will last you, a couple seasons. These are very good duster powder type garden things. They're real simple to use. You basically unscrew it. You'll see that it has a tube that goes down to the bottom. You put 3 or 4 ounces of your powder in here. You don't want to fill it too high because it could clog it. You know, put the cap back on, and all you do is this end here, you know, once this cap is tight and you have your mask on and your protective clothing, you just walk around and that little end there, just put it in a hole or put it in a crack, and you know, pump it while you're going up and down the crack, or pump it a couple times in the hole. You know, every once in a while you might just want to, you know, tap the hole and make sure it's working, or point it away from you and puff it, and you'll see just a little cloud of dust. So just get every hole, every crack. If there's something above you, this will work upside down, it'll work sideways. It also comes with this extension, so it's a little extension. This is the only piece it'll fit on, so that little rubber fits over the piece like that. And then on the end, you have this end over here, you have a choice. You can put one for a straight end, but you have to put this piece on first, which has another one of those. So you can put that on in there just like that, and then you go all the way to the end, and this is a 90-degree, so you can just pop that out and then put a straight one so you can lift straight up. Or if you had a, you know, building that was up here and you had to get around something like that, or if you had a straight one, you would just go straight in the hole, or there's a hole in the wall, you want to go like that and you have to reach high. So that's that sprayer. You know, all in all, it does a great job. You want to keep these powders stored away safely. You want to keep them in an area that's pretty dry. You know, you don't want to apply them when it's raining or when it's really humid out. You're trying to keep the dust to go in. Once it's inside, it's fine. But if you apply these to your like vegetable gardens and things, you know, I would be very careful. Once again, it does kill honeybees. You can dust your, you know, around the bases of your flowers and things like that, and be careful. But if you just, you know, put it on all your flowering plants or anything that has pollen or nectar that the bees like, they're going to go to it and they're going to get it on it. They're going to take it back to their hive, and it's going to wipe out the whole hive. So, you know, in my case, I just made up my mind. I only use it inside the cracks and the holes inside the house. So I try not, you know, to make sure any honeybees get killed. But the rest of those stinging guys, hornets, wasps, you know, yellow jackets, this thing will get them. Be careful. You know, wasps and yellow jackets, they're not like bees. Bees only sting you once, okay, and then they die. Wasps, yellow jackets, and all them, their stinger stays intact, and they will, you know, sting you a bunch of times. So it's always best to go after them fully dressed with goggles and several layers and taped up around the ankles and stuff where they can't get to you. And same with, like, you know, if your shirt is untucked and it's outside, or your jacket, you know, you better make sure you tape around that or something, so they can't get up there and crawl around, because one can get inside your pants leg and sting you 3 or 4 times, and you're not going to like it. And it's also best to do it early in the evening when there's very little bit of activity, you know, and you'll kill them all. You'll be amazed how fast this stuff will get rid of them. The yellow jackets and the hornets, you know, when they make their nests, you can just spray it right on that big honeycomb looking thing, and it'll kill them and kill the larvae and whatever. Then you can knock that down at a later time. So I hope this video was informative to you. You know, once again, I hope that you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. Definitely hit the like button, thumbs up if you could. You know, it would be awesome if you would take this video and share it with all your friends on Facebook, Pinterest, or whatever the latest craze is today. And remember, if you have something that you want me to review, just send it here to the shop. I review the stuff for free. You know, I don't even tell I can tell you where I bought it from, but I don't tell you who the buyer is. I'm not trying to play favorites. And I tell you if it's good or bad. You know, so hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, guys. See you later. Bye.